In all my experience for 15 years, people have been asking me how many times they should train. And when I say you have to train every day, they look at me like I'm crazy or it's not possible. Because first we had to break this old mindset of fitness, thinking that we had to train or work out 3 times per week or 5 times per week, etc. Many people thinking that working out or training is just training hard or going hard with a lifting weight and sprinting and running and so on. So if we think in that way, if we thinking that just is about get sweaty and get tired, that's not the point for physical development. So that's why I saying that we had to break the old mindset of fitness. So there are 3 principles that is very important in your training plan. One is goal. We have athletes and a general person that just want to keep him strong and healthy. The athlete is focused on winning the event. That means really preparing his body, his mind, and conditioning his body especially for that sport or event that he's gonna perform. On the other hand, we go a general person that he just want to keep him fit, keeping healthy. So the intensity and the recovery, it will be different because of the goal. So the intensity of the athlete is much more demanding. The intensity of the person that is just keeping strong and building a muscle and so on is also different. So it's all depends on the intensity. So now there is different level of the intensity. There is low intensity, there is intermediate intensity, and there is high intensity. And then we go the other principle, which is recovery. And this is change everything. There's two types of recovery. There is passive recovery and there is active recovery. That's why I say when they ask me how many times I practice my movements, I say 7 days per week, every day. How many times, how many hours? I will say 5 hours, 6 hours. Why? Because I structure my training program in the way that I can have certain days more high levels or intensity, and other days low intensity, and other days intermediate intensity, and recovery, active recovery in some days, and another one passive recovery in another days. Why 5 hours? Because all my life, my daily routines, my daily life is in base of movement. So for example, let's say I like cycling a lot in London. I cycle a lot. So that is part of my training program. So instead of using the lift, I walk steps. That's part of my program. Or I stretch a lot. So every time I had a chance, I stretch. Every time I had a chance, I hanging from the bar. If I are close to the park or even my house, I go bar, I hanging. So constantly all the practices that I call micro practices or micro training is in my daily life. And then I go the other part, which is more macro training. And this is specifically, if I want to condition my body in certain way to perform something, like for example, any kind of activity like climbing or any martial art, that is also one of my practices, and so on. So that's why when I say I training 7 days per week, 5 or 8 hours per day, and people are looking at me like crazy, because that's the way I designed it. My training program, because my new way of mindset toward my physical development. I just not talk about just fitness or training. I talking something much deeper. In my training plan, it's also involving lots of practices like for the empower the mind to stillness, like meditations and so on. So that all of that is the protocol that I'm using for longevity. So if you are interested in this kind of training approach, which is I've been doing for a long time, in all my experience of 15 years of experience training different methodologies, martial arts, conditioning, and so on, clients. So this is really giving a big picture of how to really approach to train your body different with a new way, a new mindset to physical development, but also for the mind.